Hello and welcome to Market Fatafat. This is the show where we take you through all the stocks that are in focus today on the back of research, on the back of news flow. I'm Ankita Saxena and with me is Shrishti Sharma. But before we get started with all the stocks that are in focus today, let's look at where the markets are at. Another day, another record high. Shrishti, the markets are soaring away before giving up, of course, those gains right now. 25,395 is where Nifty is at right now. But the biggest news is, of course, the bumper listing that we saw coming in for Bajaj Housing Finance IPO. What a listing, still locked in the upper circuit.
Well, certainly great day coming in for the benchmark indices as well as for all the IPO holders of Bajaj Housing Finance. But looking at the markets, there has been a bit of a recovery, Ankita, in the past half an hour or so for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, because indeed Nifty 50 is holding above that 25,300 mark. But apart from that, look at the move in the Nifty Bank. That's gaining more than 200 points right now. And even the broader markets as of now are supportive. In terms of the advances, there are a number of advances in NSE is more than the number of declines right now. But looking at some of the sector-specific action, then indeed that's the metal that is shining the most, because it's the dollar index that is seen to be slipping. And on the back of that, whenever there is a dollar index that is seen to be lowering down, because that has hit the lowest since January 12th. And we are seeing that metals and dollar index does have a negative correlation. Talking about some of the other indices, then it's the power space that is seen to be powering ahead. NTPC leading the chart with the gains of almost 2%. Other than that, M&M, L&T and even Eicher Motors are some of the stocks that are gaining in trade. But on the flip side, as we know that there has been a bumper listing for Bajaj Housing Finance, a couple of companies related to that, Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finserv, are seeing some bit of a profit booking in today's trading session. They are having 2 to 3% of declines right now. Other than that, HUL, Britannia are some of the FMCG majors that are seen to be declining after the change in the customs duty. Other than that, SBI Life, Ultratech Cement are also seen to be in the red. But all in all, Ankita, good day coming in for the benchmark indices and record high levels on an intraday basis yet again for Nifty 50.
Absolutely. So good, net a good day for the markets today, Shrishti. But let's get started with all the stocks that are in buzzing away today in trade. Aamar Singh, who's the head advisor of Angel One, is joining us, and with that, we also joined on our research team by Varun. Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. So without further ado, let's get started with all the stocks that are in focus today. Zydus Life Sciences is in focus today as it has secured an exclusive licensing and supply agreement with the US-based Vivid Pharmaceuticals for two gadolinium-based magnetic resonance imaging, the MRI contrast agents. Now, Zydus Life Sciences, wholly owned subsidiary, which is Zydus Life Sciences Global FZE, has entered into an exclusive licensing and supply agreement with the Vivid Pharmaceuticals for the Godobotril injection, which is a generic version of the Godavistin and the Godavistrate magnesium injection. This is a generic version of the Dotarim for the US market. Now, Vivid will handle the ANDA submission, the manufacturing and the supply of these generic products, contingent on receiving the necessary regulatory approvals, of course. But Zydus will exclusively market, distribute and sell these products in the US markets. On the back of that, Zydus Life Sciences is in focus today. It has given up all those gains. It's trading absolutely flat right now.
Certainly, that's the first stock that is in focus. Sometimes it gets really tricky to pronounce all these names.
Absolutely,
right?
All those pharma names, I tell you.
But indeed, positive news coming in for this counter. But moving on, let's have a look at Shriram Finance, one of the top gainers in Nifty 50 today. Today, Morgan Stanley has come out with a very interesting note. They actually met the management. And from that, we have got the notes out wherein Morgan Stanley says that the management has guided for 16 to 17% of the AUM growth in FY25. As the company lends to the passenger vehicle in the auto space as well. So they do highlight that passenger vehicle, MSME and gold loans will be the key growth drivers in the times ahead. They do expect the reported NIMs to range between 8 and 8.75% to 9% in near to medium term. And they also expect the cost to income ratio to remain at the current levels of 28 to 29%. They expect some scope for further moderation in the credit cost, 10% basis point each in FY25 and as well as FY26. So on the back of these positive commentaries, we are seeing Shriram Finance gaining in trade and holding on to the gains of close to 2% right now.
All right, coming to you then, Aamar. Greaves Cotton is what you picked out for us. Now, this counter is actually hovering around its 52-week high. Good gains in the last 6 months. Is there more steam left? What is the upside that you see from here on?
This is which stock you talked about?
Greaves Cotton.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So if you look at this stock, Greaves Limited, basically this stock was primarily in for consolidation. It really wasn't doing much, trading in the range of 120 and 150. And then it has taken out over the last few trading sessions. It has breached the 160 level. Currently, it's around almost 188, 190 levels. And if we go back in time and we look at the stock, so in the quarter of June 2022, the stock had made a high of almost 210, and then it had corrected all the way towards 120 levels. If you look at the stock on the long-term charts, on the intermediate term trend, even the short-term trend, that is definitely positive and bullish. And also, if you look at the volumes which have been there over the last 5 to 7 trading sessions, that has been more than average as compared to the last 15 to 20 day trading sessions. So I would say that the stock sustaining above the 185, 190 level has a potential to rally towards its previous high. So the all-time high was almost 260 levels, but before that it needs to breach the 210. So sustaining above 190, the stock could witness a rally towards 210, 220 levels in the short term.
All right, that's the take coming in on Greaves Cotton. But moving on, and let's talk about Dixon Tech. And Varun, coming to you to know about what's the news flow out here in Dixon Tech and why is the stock up around 6% in trade today?
So the stock is up 6% and actually the stock is trading at life high today. So the news is a wholly owned subsidiary of this company, Paget, has actually done a MOU with Asus for manufacturing of notebooks. And this is not actually the first MOU. Actually, last week also, if you look, the company's subsidiary has done an MOU with HP for the same thing, for manufacturing of notebooks. So this is the reason that the stock is up. The company is expecting around 3,000 to 3,500 crores revenue from IT as a segment. And other than this, BNP has also raised target on this company. They have given an outperform call and the price target has been raised from 12,355 to 13,145, and that's the reason the stock is up 6% and is trading at life high.
All right, that's Dixon Tech, riding the high wave. But we also had the management, Saurabh Gupta, CFO of Dixon Technologies, who is expecting a strong revenue from the IT products by FY27. He also adds that the company is eyeing a 10 to 15% market share over the next 2 to 3 years. Let's go across and listen in.
For us, IT is the next trigger for our growth, and the opportunity potential in IT vertical looks very promising. We think the revenue potential can be immense in the next couple of years, but since it will take time for ramp up, stabilization and all, so next financial year, yeah, potentially it can be revenues of all the brands put together should be somewhere in the range of around 3 to 3,500 crores. Potentially, we think the FY27 we can have very strong revenues in this vertical, because generally it takes some time initially to ramp up as well. We feel similarly that over the next anywhere between 2 to 3 years, we should be able to capture at least 10 to 15% market share in this category as well, with decent amount of backward integration, because the way the whole PLI is structured is that you need to continue to invest in more backward integration. So what we have committed to the government is revenues of 48,000 crores cumulatively over a period of 6 years, doing a capex of almost 250 odd crores. And clearly these large 4 brands, which are among the top 5 brands globally, have a combined market share of almost 65% in the Indian market. So gradually and slowly we'll continue to take higher share of wallet from these customers. And definitely this is a very large opportunity for us over the next couple of years, I would say.
All right, that's all about Dixon Tech. You also heard the management. But moving on, then let's get back to the other buzzers in trade. And Aamar, coming to you to have your take on JSW Steel. As the metals are shining bright, JSW Steel is indeed leading the pack. Tell us, how are you looking at the charts and what are the next targets you are looking out for?
Yeah, I would say that metal stocks definitely seem to have bounced back after the consolidation. And if I look at JSW Steel, the stock was clearly in a consolidation zone, on the downside around 850, on the upside around 950. So that was a range which the stock was actually trading in. And if you look at the stock from a long-term perspective on the monthly charts or the quarterly charts, the trend definitely continues to remain strong and positive. So the bulls have the upper hand. What we did witness on the weekly charts was that there was a loss of momentum, and also there was a lot of consolidation which was happening. But now we've seen that the stock has reached the 950, 940, 950 zone, which was acting as a zone of resistance. And also that is on significant volume. So the last few days volumes have also been more than average. Now the key is for the stock to sustain over the 950 level. Sustaining over the 950 level, the stock has the potential to rally towards 1040, 1050 levels in the short term. The support for the stock is around the 940, 950 zone. So it's a very short-term support zone for the stock. Sustaining over the 970, 980 levels, the stock has the potential to rally towards 1050.
All right, with that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we're getting you lots more stocks that are in focus today. Through all the stocks that are in focus today. So then let's resume with all the stocks that are in focus. Lotus Labs is in focus on the back of the fact that it has completed its API, the USFDA inspection of the API manufacturing facility that's located in Hyderabad. And this inspection was done without any 483 observation, and that's what the company has informed the exchanges. Lotus Labs API manufacturing facility is instrumental in developing active pharmaceutical ingredients, bolstering the company's ability to deliver high quality innovative pharmaceutical solutions to its global customers. And on the back of that, Lotus Labs is in focus today. Lotus Labs also, given up the gains, is actually trading in the red right now, trading with cuts of 0.1%.
All right, but sticking with the pharma space then, today we also had a word with Mr. Rahul Guha, who is the MD and CEO of Thyrocare Technologies, and he believes that the recent Vimta acquisition to foster the growth in Hyderabad, he shared his take on that, and he's also looking out for opportunities in Gujarat as well as Rajasthan to expand the presence. Let's go across and listen into him.
Vimta is a fantastic brand. A lot of investment has been gone into making it the brand that it is. And it's very strong in AP and Telangana, which is where Thyrocare is not very strong. And we believe with our technology, our quality footprint, our efficiencies in processing, we can definitely work together to create a tremendous amount of synergies for both companies. And so that's the logic that sits behind it. I think there are vast pockets of India where Thyrocare is still, not in the top three. For example, Gujarat, Rajasthan. And we are definitely looking for more and more opportunities in those geographies.
All right, moving on then, let's shift focus to what SBI Life is doing, because today we also have a note coming in from Morgan Stanley where they do highlight some of the key takeaways after the management meet. What Morgan Stanley is highlighting is that the management is expecting 18 to 19% of individual APE growth for FY25 as the growth is expected to pick up in Q3. Now they expect the retail participation growth to pick up from Q3 onwards, and focusing on the group credit life, pushing SBI to raise the attachment rates for group credit life policies as well. Now to comply with the new surrender norms, they have already relaunched their existing products with a slight reduction in IRRs, and there's no change in the VNB margin profile. So subsiding all the kind of concerns that were there after some of the recent changes in terms of the policy. On the policy front, that's SBI Life for you, and Morgan Stanley has come out with this particular note. For now, there's not a significant momentum in this particular counter. The stock is down about 1% in trade right now.
All right, that's SBI Live. But coming to you, Aamar, rights is what you have picked out for us. Now, in the last 1 month, this counter has been fairly range bound. In fact, it is only in the first week of September that it picked up momentum, and it's now given some 10% gains since then. So tell us, what are you seeing on the charts for this one?
I would say if I look at rights, what we did witness was that the stock, after a sharp rally and hitting record highs in the month of March, and from there, and that was almost 825 levels, the stock corrected towards 575, and then it went in for consolidation, again tried to reach the 800 mark, and then went in for consolidation between 650 and 800 levels. What we see over the last few trading sessions is that the stock has formed a base, and also the volumes have been slightly higher as compared to the average volumes, and currently we are seeing a breakout, and the stock sustaining of the 700 levels. So sustaining of the 700 levels, the stock has a potential to rally towards 750, 760 in the short term. As a long term, if I look at the long term structure of the chart, that continues to remain strong and positive, and the intermediate term structure also is not, I would say, positive, but yes, is indicating that there could be a pullback in the stock towards 750, 760. So from a short term perspective, that's a level that one can watch out for.
All right, for the short-term perspective, those are the levels to watch out for when it comes to REITs. But two of the Adani group of stocks are surely buzzing away in trade, and that's Adani Green as well as Adani Power. And Varun, tell us, what's the news flow in both of these and why these stocks are so charged up today?
So both the stocks are up around 6 to 7% and they are having good volumes today. So the news is basically Maharashtra Discom, they have given a letter of intent to both the companies Adani Power and Adani Green. So the letter of intent is to supply 6,600 megawatts of hybrid solar and thermal power. So from this 6,600 megawatt, 5,000 megawatt of supply would be from, the solar power supply would be from Adani Green, and the rest around 1,500 megawatt of supply would be from Adani Power from the 1600 megawatt ultra supercritical capacity. So because of this news, both the stocks are buzzing, and actually if you look at this order, this is one of the largest solar power capacity awarded globally. So this is the news because of which both the Adani Group stocks are buzzing in trade today.
All right, Aamar, coming to you then from Adani set of stocks, Sun TV is what you've picked out for us. Not a name that we hear very often on the technicals, but tell us what are you seeing on the charts for this one?
I would say looking at Sun TV, the long-term trend continues to remain positive. Short-term, we did witness some sort of consolidation in the stock, and the stock traded below the 800 levels. Again, we are seeing that the stock is inching higher and it has reached the 800 level, because earlier 810 was acting as a zone of resistance. And on the short-term charts also, the trend has turned positive, and some of the technical indicators, they point towards a positive bias. And also, if you look at the weekly charts over the last 4 to 6 weeks, this level has been reached, and that also on significant volume. So Sun TV, one can definitely keep a close watch on. It has a potential to rally towards 880, 900 levels from a short-term perspective, as the long-term trend remains extremely strong and positive, and even on the short-term trend, we are seeing some positive signs as well.
All right, that's about Sun TV. But Aamar, talk to us about how you're looking at the chart of Orient Cement, and what are the levels that you are looking out for?
Yeah, so looking at Orient Cement, what we did witness was the stock corrected almost from 360 levels to almost 280 levels. Currently, it's trying to pull back because if you look at the stock from a long-term perspective on the monthly charts, that continues to remain strong and positive. Intermediate term, we did witness some correction, and on the daily charts, we are seeing some sort of, I would say, biasness as far as the bulls are concerned. But for any significant rally, the stock needs to sustain above the 310 level. So that's a level I would say one needs to keep a close watch on. Sustaining above a 310 level, the stock could witness a rally of 10 to 15%, that is towards 340, 350 levels. So that's a level to keep a close watch on. It seems that the stock has formed a strong base around the 275, 280 levels.
All right, with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere, because we will continue with a countdown of all the stocks that are in focus.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.